Morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. It is Work Your Package Wednesday. How y'all doing? I have my scarf on because they are threatening some flurries today in the DMV. For all my people who are off, government employees that are off, lucky you. Lucky you. Good morning, Katrina. How are you? Good morning, everybody. I know I gave kind of a sneak peek last night about what I was going to talk about. My niece visited me on Sunday. I was so happy to see her. I hadn't seen her in a long time. And as we were sitting up there talking and talking about different things, she just asked me, she's like, Auntie, how much time does it take for you to prepare for Work Your Package Wednesday? And I told her, I said, well, sometimes I pray about it and I wait, and then I go ahead and I get on here, but it's usually off the cuff. But sometimes it's a conversation that I've had with somebody or something like that to really get into it. So sometimes I have, off the cuff, and sometimes I have notes. I have notes today because when I tell you this thing stuck with me and it just would not shut up. I hate when that happens. So before I get too far into anything, I am Ayanna Castro. I'm the founder and chief maven of Work Your Package, and it is Work Your Package Wednesday. I'm excited and happy to be with you here another Wednesday. I know this is not my typical time. I know that I'm earlier than usual, but I am getting into work earlier. So my plan was to get to work earlier. I have a humdinger of a day lined up. I can't even begin to express how crazy this day is about to be. But let's just get into it. So the title of today's message is Worry About Yourself. And I know that people have a very negative thought when they hear worry, or I'm worried. I'm worried. People have a negative connotation and a negative thought about the word worry. Well, worry in itself can be a verb or a noun. As a verb, it means to give way to anxiety or unease. As a noun, it means a state of anxiety or uncertainty over actual or potential issues. Right? So it's a verb or a noun. It could be either one. Pick one, depending on your situation. The problem with having a negative connotation around worry is that people tend to think that if they're worrying about something, they're not being productive. Or if they're worrying about something, they feel that they're not trusting God to do what it is that they are supposed to do. Right? So that's what people believe, right? I know that they say, worry for nothing, be anxious for nothing. But I truly believe that if you worry about some things, if you're anxious about some things, I believe that there's some kind of benefit from it. As a matter of fact, there's a white paper study out there that says the exact same thing, that some sort of worry, some type of worry, a level of worry is actually beneficial to you. So not all worry is futile, and nor is it destructive. It actually can act as an emotional buffer against things that's coming up. So for instance, I worry about my children's education. So my worry about my children's education makes me a very active parent at their school. My worry about their education means that I talk to their teachers. I apologize for that, y'all. I talk to their teachers often to make sure that they are on track. I'm sorry, I apologize. I got people texting me and my phone is picking it up. When I talk to their teachers to find out what's going on, the teachers are always very, I'm not going to say impressed, but sometimes they're surprised that I have such an interest in my children's education. I don't understand why that should be surprising. I'm guessing that all parents should be that way. No, right? I worry about my mom because she's 80 miles away from me. So that causes me to check in with her on a regular basis. I can sense when something's off. I can sense when something's wrong. So yeah, I hop in my car and I will drive the 85 miles to get to her to make sure she's okay. Does that make sense? So not all worry is destructive, and not all worry is futile. And it also acts as, like I said, an emotional barrier. It can almost buffer you against, I am so sorry. It can almost buffer you against It can buffer you against some of disappointments that you know is going to come, because life is not always peaches and cream, right? It ain't all roses, right? So disappointment is going to come. A little bit of worry about something that's going to happen can actually help you buffer yourself against what is going to happen. So you may have this mindset, well, I'm always going to think positive. I'm optimistic. Let me tell you something. I am one of the most optimistic people you will ever meet. The house could be burning down, and I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? The house is burning, but you know what? Thank God my family is out. Like, I can look at a situation that most people would think is absolutely dire and find something positive in that situation. But even I, in my internal, external, and eternal optimism, I still worry. There are things that I worry about, and it's beneficial because when things happen, I'm not taken aback. I'm not thrown for a complete loop, because in my mind, I've almost prepared for what could happen. The other thing is, worry is it's not even almost. Worry is a red flag that something is wrong. So in addition to your little birdie tweeting at you saying, excuse you, hello, something's wrong. Hello, we've been here before. Worry is also a red flag to let you know something is wrong. And you need to pay attention to it. You need to fix it. So like I said, it's not always something that is a detriment. Worry is not futile. It's not something that you should not dismiss worry, is what I'm saying. The other thing is, when you realize that something is wrong because the red flag has gone up, you're encouraged to fix it. So whatever it is, you are encouraged to fix it, because worry doesn't feel good. Worrying about something does not feel good at all. Worrying about something sucks. But it also encourages you to fix whatever the heck it is that is worrying you, right? So I, for a very long time, was worried about my health. I went on and fixed that. I was worried about, finances. I went ahead and I fixed that too. I was worried about my career path. I went ahead and I fixed it. You see what I'm saying? So there are things that you worry about, and you're thinking, oh, I'm just worrying about this. But the worry, I bet you, would encourage you to go ahead and fix whatever was bothering you, because it was a red flag that something was wrong and something was off. The other thing is, there are benefits to your worry. So there's certain things that worry does. Worry shows that you pay attention to details, because people who have a very cavalier way of life and they really don't, if the sun rises, it rises, if it sets, it sets type of situation, they don't really pay attention to details. The elephant can walk all the way through the room, break the china, sit on the couch, break up the coffee table, and they just be like, oh well. Whereas people who worry, when we see the elephant walk in the room, we like, wait a minute, where's this elephant going? Wait a minute, pause. Somebody move the china. Somebody move the couch. Somebody get the coffee table out the way. When you worry, you have more attention to detail. You pay attention to different things. And because you pay attention to things, you are the person that most of the time your circle kind of count on, because you're a positive influence, because you're pointing out the potential pitfalls. Not a Debbie Downer. Not to say, oh my God, that's just not going to work. Oh my God. Not that. I'm not saying be the Debbie Downer. I'm not saying being the negative Nelly. Worry does not put you in those two categories. Let me say that again. Worrying about something does not put you in the category of a negative Nelly or a Debbie Downer. What it does is make you very astute to what's going on and surrounding you, and then you then provide the information to people who are around you to keep them okay. Make sense? You worry, you notice things, you point things out. It's not being negative, you just point things out. Right? Right. So then the other thing is, it teaches you to learn from your past mistakes. Worry teaches you to learn from your past mistakes. Worry and the little birdie go hand in hand. The little birdie will remind you, remember the last time you touched that, it was hot. Remember the last time you touched it, it was sharp. Remember the last time you talked to that person, you walked away with a headache? The little birdie will do that. Worry coincides with that. Worry will remind you of negative experiences, and it allows you to learn from those things. So like I said, worry has a benefit in your life. The other thing is that worry teaches you to plan for the future. So in that vein alone, worry about these things. Worry about these things about yourself. Okay? Worry about yourself. And I used to tell this to the girls all the time when they used to bicker back and forth and complain about each other. And oh my God, they used to get on my everlasting nerve with the arguing. They still argue. They're 11 and 13. Of course they argue. But I tell them to worry about themselves. Because worrying about you, you can't focus on anybody else. So this is what I want you to worry about. Worry about your physical health. Worry about your mental health. Worry about your finances. Worry about your career. Worry about your passion. Worry about that. Worry about yourself. Because if you're focusing on yourself and you're working on those things, it is not a selfish thing to worry about yourself. It is not selfish to be concerned about your physical health before you can advise somebody else on their own journey. It is not selfish for you to make sure that you've made your appointment for your therapist before you go out there dispensing all this information to everybody else about a mental health professional. That's not selfish. That's you taking care of yourself. That's about you worrying about yourself. Worry about your finances. And sometimes that means, you know what? Nah, I can't go out for drinks today. Or I can't go out for lunch today. Or just make sure you are worrying about yourself. When you worry about yourself, that means you, A, notice that something needs to be corrected and you need to fix it. B, it means that you are going to be able to bounce back from any disappointment that might come your way. And C, more than likely, it is going to serve as an emotional buffer because things are going to happen. So worry about yourself. I know you was looking at the title like, worry about yourself. That's what I'm talking about, because worry is not negative. Worry is not destructive, nor is it futile. Worry has benefits in your life and to encourage you to move forward in what you were called to do. That's it, and that's all. That's all I got. If y'all enjoyed this video, y'all go ahead and share it. I appreciate everybody who shares. When y'all share the video, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, yay. They thought the video was great, and they went ahead and shared it. I appreciate it. Leave your comments below. Tell me what your thoughts are about worry. Tell me what your negative thoughts about worry, what you had your negative thoughts about worry before you saw this Facebook Live. I know that people tend to think that worrying is a bad thing. It honestly is not. I actually have embraced my worry. Now, excessive worrying can be debilitating. Excessive worry about anything, excessive anything, can be too bad for you. I'm talking about the moderate worry, something that comes across your mind and be like, you know what, I am a little concerned about that. I'm a little worried about it. That's the type of worry I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stuff that pop up in your head, the things that you see and you decide, you know, I am a little worried about that. I'm not talking about the things you obsess over. I'm not talking about that. If you're obsessing over your weight, that's not worry. Obsessing over your weight is destructive. If you're obsessing over how much money you got in the bank and you are working yourself to death because you're trying to make sure you have a certain amount of money in the bank and you're okay and your bills are paid, your mortgage is paid, car note is paid, like car note, you don't even have a car note, your car is paid off, you paid for it in cash. Like if you're worrying about money and you really don't have a reason to, that's something different. But if you aren't at the point where you're like, you know what, I'm doing okay, but I know I could do better, that's worry. If I can put it in a frame of context. Like, you know, all my bills is paid. I'm good. I don't have any credit card debt. But yeah, I could have a better cushion. Maybe I need to go talk to a financial advisor. Maybe I need to make sure that my will is up to date. Maybe I need to make sure that, you know, all of my paperwork is in order. Because just in case, God forbid, something happens to me, my family don't have to go ahead and put up a GoFundMe account. That's worry. That's good worry. That's it. And that's all. That's all I got. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all for hopping on earlier than I typically get on here. I appreciate it. I want y'all to continue to live and not exist. I say this all the time. I continue to live and not exist because existing is some BS and it's mediocre. And mediocrity is a slow, slippery slope to a miserable, horrible existence of a life. I love y'all. I appreciate you. If you are in the DMV, I don't know if we're getting snow. We may or may not. I don't know. We may or may not. Who knows? But in the meantime and in between time, I appreciate you. Again, share the video if you loved it. Share your comments below on your thoughts of about worry before seeing this live. I thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. And I'm about to go in here and do my thing. Next week, I have a holiday party for roughly 500 people to do. I thought the number was going to blow up to about 600, but we got to about 500 people. And even still, for the people that I absolutely adore at work, my coworkers, all my family, I find it an honor to do what I do for them as their corporate event coordinator. So into work I go. Have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.